I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say John Dorsey's gone. John Dorsey is actually going to the Lions now as the Eagles front office consultant for a couple months, and now joining the Lions, helping us pick our head coach. And I know what you guys are going to say now. You guys are going to say Nick Sirianni's a yes man. He's a scapegoat. He's going to get controlled. He's not going to have any room to talk about the draft, free agency. You know, it's just going to be all negative. And I know how it is because we can never be happy about one thing. It's always got to be one thing after the other, okay? Now, I understand. Like, look, Howie Roseman's on the last year of his contract. This is how I think of it about all this happening right now. Howie Roseman's on the last year of his contract, okay? This is it. If this season doesn't work out, he drafts the wrong guys, it is what it is. It doesn't work out, then, yeah, he will be fired. If not, then he'll stay and get another extension. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, I think Nick's going to have some say in this roster, okay? To be hired as a head coach and not have any say, it's just why take the job? If the Eagles if Jeffrey Lurie thinks that this team has no problems whatsoever, they wouldn't have hired anybody. They would have promoted somebody from within, okay? They would have done that again. But they didn't. They're not going to tell us that, but the reality is, yeah, we need help badly. Jeffrey Lurie knows that Howie Roseman has made some mistakes, even though he said, "Oh, he's done a great job." He's talking about early drafts. He's talking about drafts back in like 2007, 2008. I'm talking about, he hasn't really punished Howie by what he's done the past few years, and these players that have worked out on other teams and haven't, had a chance to come here because we can't draft. Okay, so I think we're going to turn over somewhat of a new leaf and do something here. Sirianni's got a big part of this thing. I mean, if you think he doesn't, Frank Reich is pretty much, on the Eagles pod today on PhiladelphiaEagles.com, Dave Spadaro was talking to Frank Reich. Frank Reich said he was brilliant. He took care of everything on game day, game plan, everything. He knows what to do. He knows what players need to be on the field, what players are going to work out. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. We should be happy right now. I didn't think we'd have the staff. We got Jonathan Gann as the DC, a guy that's pretty much developing corners great, turn Xavier Rhodes' career around a little bit. He knows how to really get guys in the secondary, and that's where I really like him a lot. Okay, then you go get Frank Reich's passing game coordinator. Who wouldn't want that? You get that. Okay? You get that on top of it. And then you go get Nick Sirianni. For a guy that called some of the plays, not everything, but game planning and scheming and everything else like that, it really does help. And if Frank Reich is that high on him and he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do because, that was my guy. That was my right-hand man. And if he's worried that much about his being a head coach of the Colts without having his guy with him, then, man, I think the Eagles got to win with this signing. I think the Eagles got to win with this coaching staff. We're trying to find our offensive coordinator right now, but I'm telling you, got to be happy about it. And they're all young guys. They're all young, and they're motivated, and they're probably so excited. And you never know. How much control that Nick is going to have. He's going to have some control over this 53-man roster. There's going to be free agents from the Colts that are probably going to want to come here. You never know at this point, guys. Even though, obviously we're in cap hell right now, but just wait. Obviously, we're going to free it up. Just give it time. But at the end of the day, guys, like, the excuses and the same things I'm hearing over and over. We might not be contending next year, guys. So if you guys are going hard on this team so bad to the point where this team probably won't contend next year. It's going to be like another 2 to 3 years before this team contends. And we need to see what this roster looks like by the start of the season. There's still a lot of bad contracts. There's still a lot of players that need to be traded. There's still a lot of players that need to be released and restructured and money moved around. So much has to happen right now. But be happy about it. For once, something, okay, was firing Doug, a big mistake? I don't know. I don't think it was at the time, but then hearing what Doug was going to do with these coaches to make Press Taylor his offensive coordinator, make Matt Burke, or bring Corey Unlin, that was a defensive coordinator from the Lions, back here. I mean, just moving people, being friends with people, knowing who he knows. The guy can't hire his own staff. People are telling me that Doug didn't hire his own staff. He did. He did, guys. He hired his own staff. He did whatever he wanted with his own staff. You know, during the season, he put Press Taylor under his wing and said, hey, share play calls. And then once it got worse, he gave most of the play calling to him. He hired Rich Sangarello. He hired Marty. You know what I mean? Like, he did all that. Okay, so to say, like, the Eagles never gave Doug to hire his own staff, he always hired his own staff. That was the problem, guys. The problem was he hired his own staff. But he didn't hire anybody. He just moved people around. That was the big thing. Okay, but John Dorsey being gone, okay, it is what it is, but Nick Sirianni's gonna have some say in this roster. You guys gotta think with your heads here. Gotta think with your heads. I don't know if half of you guys are like 13 to 15 years old and have no idea, haven't been around long enough to watch football or something, because sometimes I feel like there's something wrong with everybody. Okay, like, give it time, guys. We might not be contenders this year. Okay, the goal is to get to a Super Bowl every year. Okay, but hey, guys, we might be 10-6 this year. We might win 11 games. We said the same thing last year, and look what happened. Obviously, injuries killed us, and it messed a lot of things up. And predictable play calling. Our quarterback wasn't ready to play this year. Definitely not. Quarterback controversy in 2021 will probably happen. So, guys, just got to swallow the pill, root for your team, and that's it. I have no problem hearing everybody's opinions. This is why I give you my opinion. I listen to you guys all the time, but when I hear the same thing over and over, every time the Eagles hire somebody, or the guy always has to have a good resume. The guy always has to have Super Bowl rings under his belt. The guy, it's always something all the time. Doesn't matter. We signed Darius Slade at big money, and I mean, you know, there's always some excuse that I don't know. I can't even. Every time we sign a player, it's always like, oh, we sign a player, but he reminds us of a player that we used to have a long time ago that failed here. You know what I mean? There's always like those fans that do that, and I'm just like, I ignore those people because I just don't care. I'm real, but I'm positive. You know what I mean? And I tell you, if it's going to be bad or good, guys, we might not contend this year. Definite. I mean, 2 to 3 years, maybe down the road, maybe, if this works out. But as of right now, we got to get we have to get out of cap hell. We have to get these contracts in order, and we need to start drafting right, okay, before we do anything. I don't even care about free agency this year. Yeah, there's a few guys I'd want, but they're pipeline dreams, okay? But that's about it. That's about it. So, all I got to say, I respect you guys' opinion, and trust me, I know, but I'm excited. I love this coaching staff. I do. Their OC, I hope they hire the guy from the LA Chargers. I really, Shane Sweat, so whatever his name is, I hope they hire him. I don't care what. I hope they do. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Just going on a little bit of a rant. But hey, John Dorsey is gone, and let's get ready for a very interesting offseason that we've been going through. So, very excited. All right, guys, see you guys later. Shake Squad, follow us live. Peace out, guys. Peace.